I need a couple of sheets of walnut plywood.
So the Rockler Desk Challenge happened at exactly the right time. Decided that we really needed a new desk, and here we are. So this is another mid-century modern design, similar to the other pieces that we've made, based on stuff that we've seen from Hans Wegner, Gio Ponte, George Nakashima, you know, those kinds of guys. Designed it in SketchUp. Here's the design. This design doesn't show the doors or drawers. This shows the doors on the back and the drawers on the front. One of the things that's great about SketchUp is being able to use a cut list. One of the bad things about the cut list is that the cut list isn't really optimized. It lays everything out in exactly the same direction, and if it won't fit in that direction, then it just adds another sheet. So I use it to generate the cut list, so the individual pieces that have to be made. And then I take that over to Cut List Optimizer and enter it there as separate panels. In this case, I did the top and sides as a separate project in Cut List Optimizer because I wanted a waterfall edge, and I wanted to make sure that they all came out of the same piece. You'll notice in the design that it didn't have them laid out in the right direction, but I knew how much space I had, so I just cut it out in the correct order whenever I actually did it in real life. So that worked out well. So this project was a little different for us, and the video is going to be a little different. We used a lot of different tools for this. So we used the Shaper Origin. We used the 3D printer. We used Fusion 360. We used SketchUp. All those tools came together to make a very interesting project, and we'll try and draw that out as we go through the video. So we do some of the bevel cuts here with the Festool TS55, and when I do that, it won't stand up by itself. So I have these heavy bags that you use for photography, and I just set them on the flat plate, and it makes it a much more stable cut. Don't have to worry too much about it falling off. We do as many cuts in the table saw as possible. But you know, the table saw arbor only tilts one way, and it's difficult to do very long pieces. All the case joinery is done with Domino, of course, like every other channel on YouTube. Tried to use the long wings. Never seen anybody else use those. They're not bad. Actually, they worked okay to line it up. I didn't have to mark anything to use them, so that was a benefit. In this case, it doesn't really matter where they are, as long as they're in the same spot on both sides. And by setting up the extended wings, I was able to get them in the same spot across the board. So it was pretty nice. We did figure out that the COVID masks, the homemade cloth dust masks, work really well in the shop for light dust, like the Walt planer here. It's it's connected to dust collection, so there's not a whole lot of dust that comes out of it, but there is some, and the mask helps a lot. So this was the most complicated glue up we've ever done. We had to do it in stages. So the modesty panel and the cable tray we did as a single assembly, and then I had to edge band it separately. So that's what's going on here. So using the flush cut trim saw is really simple. Using the flush cut trim saw in a way that it can be filmed for a YouTube video is awkward at best. So the edge banding around the front of it is not uniform. It's 3/4 inch on all of the vertical surfaces, and the lip on the top is 1 inch. So that means that where they come together, those are not 45-degree angles. I had to model it in Fusion 360 to get the exact angle, and then when I did that, I realized that there was no way I was ever going to be able to cut a 54.1 degree angle without a little assistance. So I took the next step, and I used Fusion 360 to 3D print some saw guides. So at this point, we're back in the glue up. Everything else is ready. So here we've glued up the subassembly, and we're able to glue that to the top. And now we can glue the pods on either side. That'll have the drawers. So we designed the desk legs in Sketchup and then download them to the Shaper origin, and then use the Shaper origin to cut out the template. So here we take the template that we just cut using carpet tape, stick it to the piece of wood, and then run it through the router table with a flush cut trim bit on it. For this project, we decided to try the Amana drawer pull router bit. Made pretty interesting little drawer pulls. There's Lisa putting on the first of many coats of polyurethane.